Growing up in Opelousas, Louisiana, Keon was raised by a single mother, Raven, along with his 4 siblings. Keon is one of them once-in-a-blue moon type of athletes because he says Opelousas is a place where the majority of the people there don't make it out.
They don't have their head screwed on right and do different paths lead you down different roads, so they end up taking the wrong one and they never make it out. And it happens so much, it's like the statistics don't favor you doing what I'm doing. It don't happen.
Opelousas police are looking for 4 suspects in connection with Wednesday night shooting that killed a 15-year-old.
News from overnight out of Opelousas. Officers responded to the scene of a shooting late last night that left an off-duty corrections officer dead.
From shootings in broad daylight to burglary, theft, and multiple assaults, Opelousas is not a place many NFL players come from. Despite the harsh realities of his environment, his mother Raven was determined to provide her children with the best possible upbringing. She turned to Hope of Opelousas, known as HFO, a local organization that offered a safe haven and resources for the community's youth. It was here where Keon found his home away from home and guidance as the program's director Jonathan Fisher took interest in his development. HFO played a huge role in shaping his character and personality that we see today in his interviews and press conference. There are 4 main characteristics and personality traits he was able to take with him, one being determination and resilience. Despite the constant threats of negative influence in his environment, he was able to stay focused on his goals and excel, both academically and athletically. Like I said before, not every child make it out of there, but Keon was able to do so with his determination.
It's simple. Statistics say I'm not supposed to be here. A lot of guys don't really get this far.
2. Discipline and work ethic. Keon's mother Raven instilled a strong sense of discipline in him, going as far as taking his free time away for the days he went to HFO when he underperformed academically.
I got like a C on the test or something and my mom wasn't going for it, so he had to take my free time for like almost a month. It was hurting him so bad.
Wasn't there for sports. He was there for education.
This taught him the importance of hard work and accountability. See, from an early age, Keon excelled in both basketball and football, using these sports as a way to stay out of the streets and focus on his future. However, his academic performance was just as important to his mother as sports was to him. That's when his mentor, Jonathan Fisher, from the program started to enforce high academic standards for Keon, ensuring that his performance in the classroom was the top priority and not just his athletic talent. Number 3, appreciation for opportunity and giving back. Keon recognizes the role that the HFO program and his supportive community played in helping him overcome the challenges of his upbringing. He now hopes to encourage the kids in the area to never give up no matter the circumstances they may face, and for him to be a live representation that they can achieve those dreams no matter what.
Like, man, I'm a guy that y'all actively see. Y'all like, I'm here, I'm a live representation. Like, you can do the same thing I'm doing.
Shout out Opelousas, man. 337, we putting on. I love y'all.
And number 4, family bonds and mentorship. Keon was raised by his single mother Raven, with the support of his grandmother Paula and his siblings. The tight-knit family unit provided him with the stability and guidance. His older brother Kalen playing as a father figure to Keon, helping him with training and development.
Who in your life was the most instrumental in helping you make it?
My mom and my brother. That's my mom and my brother. And the rest of my support staff, they were pivotal too.
The support and high expectation from his mother and the HFO program instilled in Keon a deep sense of discipline and drive to succeed. As he progressed through high school, his athletic talents continued to shine, and he became a standout player at Opelousas Catholic. Bro was a dominant 2-sport athlete to the point where he was getting recruited not only for one sport, but both basketball and football. Let's start with on the court first. In his sophomore year at OC, he was nothing less than impressive, as he helped lead his team to a state semifinals while averaging 23 points per game. As a junior in 2019 and 2020, his average increased to 26 points per game, finishing with a 22-8 record and a spot in the regional finals. And at the end of that season, he was named to the second team All-State selection. His scoring was on full display, continuing to his senior year, averaging an impressive 33.5 points per game, including a career high
63 points against Sacred Heart.
I didn't realize it till after the game when they brought the scorebook to me and the scorekeeper was just like, I did the math 7 times.
Do a reverse dunk. I want to do all this, dunk on somebody and then it just all started happening.
And he was named the MVP of the 2021 All-State Boys Basketball game, scoring 25 points. And those skills just transferred to the field effortlessly. On the field, he was also a dog, establishing himself as one of the top wide receiver prospects in the nation. He was ranked as high as the 42nd best receiver in the country and the 8th best prospect in Louisiana. His junior year was his best season in 2019, catching 35 passes for 1,100 yards and 22 touchdowns, leading the team to a 10-2 record, losing in the quarterfinals. His performance earned him the first team All-State honors, and as a senior, he finished with 600 yards and 8 touchdowns, finishing his high school career with 1,700 yards and 30 touchdowns on 63 receptions. These standout performances in both football and basketball showcase his freakish athletic abilities and his impact as a two-sport star. His accolades, statistics, and team success are a testament to his well-rounded talent and dedication to excel in multiple sports.
My mama always told me when I was growing up, you're too athletic and too good overall to just play one sport. Why not use it in all of them? They all help each other. And I love them all the same, so I don't know which one I'm gonna pick.
Despite his impressive skills, Keon owned home state college, LSU, that were blessed with the talents like Odell, Jay Jettas, and Jay Landry, for some reason did not offer a scholarship to Keon. But there were no hard feelings because he actually wanted out of Louisiana and get away as far as possible.
I felt, like you said, a lot of people get caught wanting to stay home, and it's nothing home but distraction and bad influences. So I wanted to get as far away from home to learn as much about myself, improve my self-awareness and my discipline as a man as I was growing.
But there were 40 plus colleges wanting him on their roster. Just to name a few, there were Kansas, Arkansas, Auburn, Baylor, Houston, Indiana, Jackson State, Louisiana Tech, Miami, Oklahoma State, Penn State, South Carolina, Tennessee, and many more. The thing is though, he remained committed to playing both basketball and football in college, rather than focusing solely on one sport, like most two-sport high school athletes do. The first school he thought the next place he was going to call home was Kansas. He was offered by the team in April 2020. Then he made a verbal commit a few months later in July.
I might have started the trend that all the good recruits go to Clemson, all the good recruits go to Oklahoma. I want to start the trend where all the good recruits go to Kansas. It was the complete package, everything I wanted. It was a perfect relationship with the coaches.
Here he was going to be playing both on the basketball court and football field. But for some reason, just 3 months later, he took back his commitment and reopened his recruitment process, saying in an interview this was his first time through the process and it was very hard to say the least. He continued to say he rushed his decision and was looking for a new place to call home for the next 3 to 4 years. And this time around, he was going to be taking his time and be sure to pick the right place to take his talents to. I'm guessing those 11 hours just wasn't far away from home enough for him at the time. More schools started to contact him, and it wasn't until the top of the following year in 21 where he would sign his letter of intent to play almost 17 hours away up in Cole, Michigan for MSU. Coach Izzo and Mel Tucker were all in on Keon. When asked about what he could bring to the basketball team, he said,
I could be a good piece in that offense too. Help Coach Izzo bring a title home.
And the reason why MSU was ultimately the place he ended up at was because he was excited to play under a black head football coach.
It's very rare that a black head coach get to be a black head coach. So go play for one and we're gonna get things going. They're in the rebuilding process in football, but I plan to be a big piece of that puzzle.
His time at Michigan State was a whirlwind of success and challenges. From the moment he stepped on campus, Keon made an immediate impact. On the football field, he quickly established himself as a dynamic wide receiver. His freshman year, he wasn't used much. Even though seeing time in 10 games, he finished the year with 7 receptions, 50 yards, and a TD. But completely turned up his second year, catching 58 passes, just 2 yards shy of 800 yards, and 8 touchdowns. His best game that year being 5 for 155 and a TD against Michigan. In basketball, Keon's skills was equally impressive. He joined the Spartans basketball team in January of 22 and made an impact as a role player, averaging 5 points, 1 rebound, and 3 steals in his limited playing time. His versatility and work ethic impressed Tom Izzo, who praised his ability to balance the demands of 2 high-level sports. But his time at Michigan State did come with some hard times. Balancing the demands of 2 sports, Keon was determined to compete in both basketball and football at the collegiate level, but it was completely different than high school. From the training to the competitive schedules, for both sports put a strain on his physical and mental. Transitioning to the Division I level, he worked tirelessly in the offseason to improve his skills and physique to be able to compete at the highest level. Injury and recovery. He suffered an injury during the 22 football season that forced him to step away from basketball completely to focus on his health and football.
Nobody was like, hey man, you know I was going to play that second season, but I was overcoming injury. So as a pro, you got to be like, all right, I got to take care of my body.
With the support from his coaching staff, Keon was able to recover and refocus his efforts on football, which ultimately led his decision to transfer. He hit the transfer portal after the 2022 season, seeking a new opportunity to showcase his talents. In May of 2023, he announced his commitment to Florida State.
You know, for these next 8 to 9 months, I'll be taking my talents, going to Florida State University, go Seminoles,
where he will join the high-powered offense led by Jordan Travis. His decision to transfer was not an easy one though, but he felt it was the best move for his future. Michigan State is home, he said, and his decision to transfer to Florida State was nothing personal. He expressed his continued love for the Spartans program and his former coaches, but ultimately, the chance to play for the Seminoles and potentially boost his NFL draft stock was too good to pass up on.
Most of all, I love the coaching staff, and they got 90% of the team coming back this year, so we have a chance to do something very special, and I just want to be a part of that.
He made impact with his short time at FSU and established himself as one of the most electrifying players in the ACC. He arrived in Tallahassee eager to showcase his talents on the national stage. From the moment he stepped on the field for the Seminoles, it was clear that he was a special talent. In his very first game as a Seminole, Keon was playing against his home team. He knew a few dudes on the team and knew everyone back at home was tuned into the game. And boy, did he go off, catching 3 TDs and a 45-24 win. His performance week 1 was a sign for the things to come. Over the next few weeks of the 2023 season, he hauled in 50 catches for 658 yards and 11 touchdowns. His ability to make acrobatic catches and stretch the field vertically made him a nightmare for teams' secondary. But his impact went beyond just his receiving stats. He proved to be a dynamic playmaker in a return game. 300 yards on 25 punts, including a career-long 72-yard return, which was the longest in the ACC and the country. His standout performance last year earned him a few accolades, including first-team All-SEC selections as a receiver, all-purpose player, and return specialist. The Seminoles finished the year 10-3 and earned a berth in a major bowl game, with Keon being a big contributor. His game-winning touchdown catch in overtime against Clemson was a highlight that will live long in the memories for the Seminole fans.
With the 33rd pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select
I'm just ready to be humble and go work hard, put my head down, and earn every piece of playing time that I get, and you know, play alongside Josh Allen.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills are very excited to receive Coleman and believe he can make an immediate impact. As GM Brandon Beane said, Josh Allen is going to be super excited to get him, and he knows Keon is excited to be there.
Big physical size, plays above the rim. He can make plays,
The Bills organization see Keon as a dynamic and versatile receiver who can play multiple roles in the offense. While the Bills won't put too much pressure on him right away, the expectation is that he can just be a significant contributor as a rookie. Beane also noted, we'll see how quickly he can get everything and he and Josh get on the same page. And hopefully the receiver and QB duo can be different than last year. The team is just expecting Keon to make an impact, potentially playing multiple roles in their offense. While they won't rush him, and the Bills fans shouldn't either, everyone is just excited about his potential to be a difference maker for the Bills organization. Even if you aren't part of the Bills Mafia, be sure to tune into some games just to see how this dude goes off.